Don't mind my gin glass. I don't have any like big pint glasses, so I've got to use, well, I don't have to, but I use a gin glass because I like to drink a lot one time. Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a girl talk video, so if you're a boy, stop watching, or dad, or anyone in my family that's a male, please don't watch this video because it's just for girls. I asked on my Instagram some topics girls want me to talk about. Basically, I'm going to be answering questions you feel uncomfortable either talking about, or like sort of taboo topics for girls, like things that girls feel like scared to talk about and stuff like that. So yeah, I've also asked about some your dilemmas, like girly situations that you don't really know like what to do in the situation. I'm going to give my advice on the situation. So yeah, right, so the first topic I'm going to talk about is contraception. So personally, I've had quite a hard journey or like experience, whatever you want to call it, with contraception. Like, I think the reason why all girls think they have to be on contraception for a start is because society puts such a big like input on it, like you've got to protect yourself, you've got to make sure you don't get pregnant, don't have a baby, blah blah blah. But it's a bit one-sided, like it's always the girl that has to be on something, or the girl that has to go through something just so that she don't get pregnant, if that makes sense. If you're watching this video, you probably are on some form of contraception, because literally nearly everyone I've spoken to is on some sort of form of contraception. But it's not, it is easier said than done for most people as well, I am aware of, because I have had quite a difficult time with it. So no one's really asked me a question on contraception, they just want me to talk about it in general. So where shall I start? If you're young watching this, about if you're like in high school watching this, don't take my advice. Please speak to someone you trust, or like a doctor or something like that, because obviously I'm not a medical professional and I don't want to scare anyone. I'm not scaring anyone, I'm just telling my experience. So yeah, I'll talk about my experience and I'll give my advice and things like that. So I first went on contraception when I think I was 15. I went on the pill. I started off on Revigidon, which you're probably thinking, oh my god, that is the worst pill to be on, which yeah, I know, and I soon came to find out, which is why I came off it. From starting that pill to the start, I think I was on it for about a year and a bit. I had constant migraines, headaches all the time, which I already suffer with anyway, but it made them 10 times worse. And they shouldn't have actually given me that pill, because I told them I suffer with headaches, so they still gave me that pill. So yeah, and also I've heard millions of horror stories about Revigidon, the pill. I'll probably insert here like some stories about it, because if you are on that pill, I really suggest you get off it. I'm not obviously medically trained or anything like that, and I'm not telling you like what to put in your body and whatnot, but in my experience, I wouldn't put anyone on that, and I wouldn't advise anyone goes on that sort of pill. So yeah, I went to the doctors and they basically took me off it straight away, because if you have headaches constantly on the pill, you're at risk of having a stroke, because it can cause like blood clots or something in the brain. So yeah, that's great for a start. So yeah, I was thinking, even then I was like, well, I'm on this pill now and I could have had a stroke or I could have got pregnant. Which one would you rather? Like, it's just really bad. And also the side effects of every single pill are so bad. You're so lucky if you're on the pill and have no side effects, because that is very unlikely. So anyway, I went to the doctors and they put me on a progesterone only pill, I think it was, which was called Sorel, which was the last pill that I was ever on. And I bled through for 6 months. Every single day for 6 months I bled. Every single day for 6 months I bled straight through. So that's, for a start, is unhealthy. They do say it's like a period. That is not a period. You should not be bleeding. That is not normal to bleed like that. So yeah, I was on that for about 9 months, and for 6 of those months I bled every single day, and I came off that. So obviously, as I was coming off that, I was like, oh, what else can I go on, because obviously that's not working. And the first thing they said was, not the pill, do not have the pill anymore, like just don't have the pill, because it's not working for you. So I went to the sexual health clinic and talked about my options of what I could have, what I couldn't have. So the next thing they suggested to me was they suggested everything other than the pill, and then obviously I had to make a decision. So I was like, oh, the coil, that sounds really good, I'll go on that. So they get me booked in, blah blah blah. I go to my appointment to get the coil actually fitted. I'm sat there, she's talking to me, she has to ask like questions before you actually like do the procedure. They've got to ask like questions to make sure everything's okay. So they start asking me questions, blah 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 blah. They was like, oh, why did you go, like talking about my history of contraception basically. And then she was like looking through my notes and she was like, she said, is there a possibility that you might be pregnant? I said, well, no, but it could be, like, there's always a possibility if you've been off contraception for even a week. So they did a pregnancy test, negative. And then she looks through my notes and she's like, oh, I can't fit this coil today. There's no way I could fit this coil. I don't even know why they booked you in for it. And I was like, hey, what do you mean? Because I've literally prepped myself up, like I was so scared to get it done. And I prepped myself up, I was just ready that time to get it done or inserted, whatever you want to say. She was like, I cannot believe that they've even booked you in for this. And I was like, why? Like, I was really concerned, like, what's wrong with me? She was like, you can't have the coil. And I was like, why? And she was like, because you've got a biconic uterus, which I was already aware of anyway. So basically, a biconic uterus is, so a normal, like, a lot of people have biconic uteruses and don't even know until like they have a baby. But because I had a few scans and stuff done before because of the constant bleeding, and they found that I had ultrasounds on what pregnant women have. My ovaries and my pelvic area and my womb and everything like that, just to check everything was okay. And I had a doctor's appointment after that appointment, and they told me that I had a biconic uterus. So I did already know this. And she was like, do you know you've got a biconic uterus? And I was like, yeah. For those that don't know, a biconic uterus is basically a normal uterus or womb, whatever you want to call it, is an oval shape. I'll insert a picture of a normal uterus here. Whereas mine is like a heart shape, if you want to say. So it's meant to be like that, but it's actually like that. So it's got like two cavities that they call it, or two horns. So if I was to have the coil inserted, I'm going to insert some pictures to try and help what I'm describing. So what was I saying? Yeah, so if I was to have the coil fitted, normally a person has a coil fitted, say this is the entrance and this is the womb. They fit the coil and it's basically like a T shape, so it goes up and then there's a T shape which blocks the womb, so nothing can get in there, nothing can be fertilised or anything like that. So with mine, it's like this. So when they put the T shape in, the top of the T of the coil is only going to cover 1/2 of my horn or cavity or whatever you want to call that little bit. It's only going to cover 1/2, so I could get pregnant in the other half. So they said there's no way they're going to fit it, there's just no way, because some people that have it fitted, that have a biconic uterus, wrongly have it fitted, they get pregnant in the other half and then the baby grows and the coil grows into the baby and then there's like complications and stuff like that. So yeah, I got turned down that day and I told my mum was fuming because obviously I was like prep myself up for it, and then I would have had it done if she didn't check my notes, and you know, something bad could have happened. So yeah, that's the reason why I can't have the coil. So then they was like, right, the only thing you can have now is the injection, which is the Depo-Provera injection, if that's what it's called, or the implant. Straight away I said no, I'm not having the implant. I know you're not supposed to like listen to people's stories and like everyone's different, but I've heard so many bad stories about that. And the nurse actually did say to me, if you bled through all on the pill, you're probably going to bleed through all on the implant because they're quite similar, and the hormones and things are quite similar. So I was like, well, I'm not going to have that then, am I? And then she gave me like a little squidgy fake arm to feel what the implant feels like in your arm, and I was like, no, I'm so squeamish, like I hate needles and stuff like that. And when I felt that, I was like, no way, 'cause if I touch my arm and I can feel an implant in my arm, I will literally be sick. That is just, I cannot. The girls that have that and it works well for them, I'm really jealous because, yeah. So basically my only option for long-term contraception was Depo. So she didn't want to give me this because I think I was 17 when I started on Depo. And obviously I don't like needles, so it wasn't great. So you can actually administer it yourself, but I would never in a million years be able to inject myself with anything. So yeah, I had it there, and then I think I got booked in for it. And then with the depot you have to go every 3 weeks to get a top up, which is really good because you don't really have to think about it or anything. But because I was so young, well 17, she didn't want to give me the depot because basically, I don't know all the science behind it, but your bones don't stop fully growing and like developing and getting stronger until you're about 20 something, I think. So with me being 17, I was still like growing and stuff like that. And apparently the depot can thin your bones and make them like brittle and easier to break and snap and stuff like that. So with depot anyway, you're not recommended to be on it for a long time. I think they said 2 years. They recommended me to be on it for 2 years max and then to come off it again. And I was like, well, what am I going to do after? And then they was just like, well, I don't know. So yeah, some people have been on the depot for like 10 years. I've done loads of research, but then I do loads of research into them and I just find negative things. I'm just like, oh, I get really scared with stuff like that because I don't like messing up like my natural like hormone function and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, I went for that. So I've been having the depot now for a year and a half. I've just come off it. I'll tell you why in a minute. But yeah, that was like my only option. So like finding the right contraception for you is probably going to take such a long time, and if the first thing you try works for you, then I'm very jealous and you're very lucky. But yeah, also I want to say that the side effects of like the pill and even the depot pill, anything that has hormones in, it's putting hormones into your body to make you not get pregnant, which isn't natural obviously for your body, which then it doesn't regulate the right hormones in your brain and it can make you depressed and things like that, which is what I sort of felt. I felt like my moods weren't right, I just didn't feel, I felt really off, especially with the depot because I was on it for quite a long time. I felt like I was starting to get quite like down about little things all the time, and it was just like really not good. And another thing with the depot that I didn't like was, it was amazing all around. I didn't have periods at all, no periods, which obviously isn't healthy, but yeah, I didn't have periods at all, and no pain, nothing, and I had to go every 3 months, so it wasn't like I had to constantly think every day to take the pill. So yeah, the only thing that I would say is, this is actually really uncommon, but with me, at the site of the injection, so the depot, if you don't know, it goes in your bum, like the fatty part of your bum, because I cover that the most fatty part of your body. So yeah, it goes into them and it slowly releases the hormone over them 3 month, that 3 month period, and then you go and get a top up. So every time I had an injection, I scarred. So everywhere the injection has been, I've got like a tiny little, you can't see all of them, but there's like scar tissue there, so it's like a purpley colour. And I was just like, at the end of the day, right, you've just got to think of the pros and cons and sort of outbalance them and outweigh them. And that wasn't the only reason, there was a lot more reasons as well, but like, who wants to have scars all over the bum just because because you want to be on contraception, do you know what I mean? Like, it was really knocking my confidence, and then my mood wasn't good anyway, so I was just like, oh my god. And I was only going to be on it for another 6 months anyway, so I just thought I'd just come off it now because, yeah. So then, it was really scary coming off the depot because it was like, I didn't have a period for ages, and I was like, oh my god, what if like I'm infertile? Like, even though you're young, like you could be 15 and worried that you're infertile, even though you don't want a kid until you're 30. Like, it is a scary thought, and to think that because you've been on contraception for so long, it's going to take so long for you to have a baby, or just so long for your body to start being back to normal, it's quite scary. And I didn't have a period for I think 3 to 4 months after coming off the depot, and I was like, oh my god, like my body's not working right. And yeah, that you don't really want to think that, but that's what went through my mind anyway. So yeah, my advice with contraception is, obviously most people can have most things, but obviously I'm just complicated, as with everything with my health seems to be. But yeah, with contraception I'd just say, obviously talk to your doctor, weigh out the pros and cons and things like that. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not the end of the world. There are other ways to prevent pregnancy, condoms or ovulation tracking. So yeah, it's not like the end of the world if you're not on contraception. And society puts such a pressure on girls to be on contraception. Like, say you're 16 and you get pregnant, like, oh my god, you aren't using protection. But why should girls have to go through either being injected every 3 months, bleeding all the time, depression, anxiety, all the mood things, everything that affects your mood with it as well. Like, why should they have to go through that just so a boy can, do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my view on contraception anyway, and my experience with it. So the next topic, let me have a look. Oh, so the next question is, how do you know when it's best to lose your virginity? I think this girl that's asked me this question is about 16. There's no right time to lose your virginity. I don't want to like say the wrong thing here. All I'm going to say on this subject is, don't do it unless you're ready. And a lot of girls do it before they're ready, or with someone that, like, they lose a virginity with someone and they think, oh my god, why have I just lost it to this person? And at the end of the day, people make a big deal out of it, but it's really not. Like, if you have lost your virginity to someone that you regret losing it to, don't let it hold a grudge on your life and like affect you and think, oh, because people think it's like a big moment of your life and make it out to be this amazing, great experience, and it's just, sometimes like it will be like if it's with someone like you love and stuff like that, but if it's not, then just don't beat yourself up about it. I would say make sure the consent of both sides is very, very clear, and just don't lose your virginity too young, because I feel like that is something you might regret, and you still sort of, as in young I mean like 13, I just wouldn't say lose it that young, but at the end of the day everyone has their own experiences, everyone does what they do and stuff like that. Obviously the consent age is the legal age I mean is 16, so I'd just say wait for as long as possible as you can. There's no rush to losing your virginity. Even if, I know at high school like there'll be a certain, probably like year 9, 10, everyone's losing it and you're like, oh, I'm weird because I ain't lost mine or stuff like that, but don't think that, because at the end of the day you're on your own time frame, and don't feel pressured into it. Please don't lose your virginity because you feel pressured that you have to. Please just don't do that. And yeah, that's all I can say on that topic. I don't want to say too much like and something sounds wrong like what I'm saying, so yeah, I hope that's answered your question. This is a dilemma I think someone's given me. Someone put, how do you know if a boy genuinely likes you or is just playing you? So, how do you know? I feel like this has a lot to do with yourself. So if you're already questioning if a boy really likes you or if he's playing you, then there's already something. It might not be, but it's, you need to sort of not fix yourself, but change your mindset, because why would you be getting with a boy that you think might be, do you know what I mean? So sometimes, and I'm putting my hands up for this as well, girls overthink so much and they create these stories in their head and they obsess over it and they create something that's not there, which a lot of the time isn't the case. If you are overthinking, then more than likely maybe is something, but a lot of the time there isn't at the same time. And you've just sort of got to balance that out and think, am I overthinking? Like, am I being a bit crazy? Like, so yeah, what's the question? How do you know if a boy genuinely likes you or is just playing you? I feel like you'll just know if a boy actually does like you. Sometimes a boy likes you and then plays you, then regrets it and then comes back, which happens a lot of the time. Like, a lot of my friends have like broke up with boys because they've been, yeah, and then they've been come running back and the girl's already moved on. It's like, well, so yeah, I'd just say, I feel like you'll know if someone's playing you. I don't like saying the word playing you, but yeah, you just know. They'd start acting weird. You probably get girls messaging you saying that they're doing this and that, and if you don't trust them, you can't be with someone and not trust them. I learned that from like a really young age. Like, you can't be with someone if you don't trust them. And yeah, at the start you might not trust them, but if that distrust lasts like a long time, then you need to talk to whoever, like the boy, about it. And if he doesn't reassure you, then he's a dick. So yeah, if a boy genuinely likes you, you will know anyway. You won't feel, he'll make you feel like, you won't feel like he's doing anything wrong, basically. You'll know, you should feel liked. and loved or whatever. How actions speak much louder than words. So if they're saying all this stuff but the actions aren't meeting up with the words, then I doubt they genuinely like you, because if what they're saying doesn't match up to how they're acting, then what they're doing, do you know what I mean? They're keeping you there on the side, they're keeping you there with all these words, but the actions aren't showing up. And if you're waiting for them actions to come and follow along with the words, then yeah. So yeah, you will know if a boy genuinely likes you if he's playing you, and if you don't, I'd speak to them directly about it and just say, look, where are we, sort of thing. So yeah. Another dilemma is really funny. It's actually the same person. She asked, what did I put here? I put girl taboo topics I should talk about in my video, or dilemmas, and she put whether to shave or not to shave. So I don't really know what she means by this. Right, I don't know if she means like preference or not. So some girls don't like, I'm just gonna say it. So some girls don't like shaving, I don't think. Like, they just don't like it, I don't know. Some girls prefer not to, some girls prefer to, and some girls will not do anything without it being, you know what I mean. So with this question, whether to shave or not to shave, I don't understand what it means. Like, if you, I don't know if it just means like if you're with someone, if you're going to see someone, whether you should or not. It's completely up to you, like it's your preference and no one else's. If the person that you like doesn't like say you like to shave and the boy you're with doesn't like it when girls shave, right? You do what makes you feel comfortable, what you want to do, and just do what you want to do, do you know what I mean? Don't do something because all girls are doing, or don't do something because the boy that you're with wants you to do that. Like, do what you're doing for you. So yeah, I don't really know if I'm answering that question right. Like, if you're going somewhere and you don't know whether to or not, I really don't know how to answer that question. I'm so sorry, I actually don't know what to say, because I don't know really what it means. Or would it mean like different things you can do, like waxing, shaving, laser removal, stuff like that? I really don't know how to answer that question. I'm so sorry. Like, I hope what I've said is what you meant to ask me, but I don't really know what that means, whether to shave or not to. Just do what you want to do, you know what I mean? Right, anyway, next question or dilemma or whatever it is, let me have a look. Girl code, let's talk about that. So to me, girl code is basically respecting your friends before a boy if there's a situation, if that makes sense. So a lot of girls don't know what girl code is, let's be honest, and yeah, and I feel like I'm not being a bitch saying that, but a lot of girls have also been through a sort of dilemma where they don't know what to do and they want to promote girl code, but it's sort of not, it's hard to do, if that makes sense. I have been in situations like when I was like ages ago, like 6 years ago, like when I was younger, in like situations where I don't know like what to do because I don't want to like hurt anyone's feelings and things like that. But you know what, if you say you and your friend like the same boy, right, and the boy, or that the boy's been speaking to both and you didn't know about it and you both like him, girl code would be fucking him off, because at the end of the day he's talking to both of you. 1 second. And like being there for each other. Like, girl code basically to me is like, oh my god, Alesha, you stupid dickhead. It's basically not falling out of a boy and being there for other girls, like girls being there for girls and supporting each other. Like, if someone's boyfriend messages you, you better go tell his girlfriend that he's messaged you. Do you know what I mean? And that's girl code to me. In fact, that's literally everything I've talked for. I've been talking for like 40 minutes now. So yeah, I don't really know if I've like done much of a girly talk video, but I didn't really get that much response again. So yeah, I've talked about what I've talked about: contraception, losing your virginity, shaving, girl talk. I mean, what would I spoke about then? Girl code, I mean. So yeah, I hope something that I said in this video was helpful or informative. If you do want to ask me any questions about what I've mentioned in this video, then I will link my Instagram down below. You can DM me any questions you want me to answer. If you want any more advice on sort of girly topics or taboo situations or anything like that, let me know and I will do another video, hopefully in more depth than I've done today. Please like, share and subscribe and turn on the post notifications so that you're informed every time I post a video. Just because I'm not actually posting on a specific day of the week because I haven't sort of worked out my schedule or anything. So yeah, this will be going up on Friday, so yeah, I'm posting once a week at the minute, but hopefully it should be twice a week soon. And I'll be back next week with my next video.